Today we're going to make some cheesy leeks. This is a dish my parents used to make. I'm not sure if it's actually traditional UK, but we used to have it all the time. Kids love it. So 2 to 3 pounds of leeks. We're probably going to use 2 ounces of butter. Grated cheese, cheddar cheese is a good one from Costco to taste. A couple of tablespoons of flour for the cheese sauce. Also milk, add as much till we get the right consistency, and maybe a teaspoon of salt. Next we're gonna just prep these leeks, just cut the ends off and then decide, you can have a certain amount of green, but you don't want any of this dark stuff, so let's do about here. And then what we're going to do when these are all in, give them a quick rinse. Now we're going to just cut these up. You just fill this up with water, give them a good rinse. There might be some dirt in the ends, which you'll see in a minute. They might need another rinse. So let's try this. So just cut down the middle. And then just chop into like little 1/2-inch sections. I'm not going to video the whole thing, just do this one and then go to the next step. Okay, well, we chopped all the leeks up. They're actually pretty clean, so I didn't need another rinse. Now we're going to just cook them all down. We're just going to saute them in some butter. If you have a big steamer, you could steam them if you don't want to use butter. But I'm just going to do it this way. I'm going to get about 2 ounces here. We'll let that melt a little bit, just turn it down, and then when it's melted, and we'll add the leeks. Okay, now the butter's all melted, you can see that. And now we're going to just add the leeks. Spoon and just make sure you've got, and give it a good stir. Now we're going to cook this for about 10 minutes, I guess. I'll add a lid so it might steam it a little bit too. But keep stirring it every minute. You don't want it to burn on the bottom. And then we'll wait till these are cooked. Okay, so the leeks have been cooking for a few minutes, maybe about 10. They're almost done. Spoon. You can see them there. It's just with that original butter, sort of sweating a little bit now. Just keep stirring them. So I just got a couple more minutes there. And now we're going to start on the cheese sauce. So just warm up a bit of pan going. Again, just under 2 ounces of butter. There. Don't want it too hot, otherwise it will burn. Get that to melt. And get a tablespoon. done. We'll turn off the leeks now. Let's see what they're like as they're steaming. And we're going to add now, we've got the butter melted. We're just going to add about 2 tablespoons, mix it in with the butter. Until you get that sort of mixture like that. So it's runny, get out all the lumps. Let that sweat for a little bit. Low. Okay, so that's pretty much ready. We're going to have some milk now. And this bit is critical to keep stirring. It should thicken up pretty quickly. As it gets hot. Yeah, looking good. See how it's thickening up. Milk. And it helps take it off the heat while you're doing this, so it doesn't just burn or just go too lumpy. You can see a bit stick to the bottom if you're not careful. Okay, we've added enough milk. There's a sort of consistency. You see that? A bit hot. Now we're going to add about 3 to 4 ounces of cheese, white cheddar, sharp white. Just add to taste. If you like it really cheesy, add more. And the Costco British Coastal is pretty authentic. A nice crumbly. Okay. Thicken out, might need a little bit more milk. Yeah, this is going to do that. Okay, the cheese is all melted now. We added a little bit of milk to make it, give it this nice runny, thick consistency. We can turn it off now. And we just add it to the pot. good. Plenty cheesy. And you can taste it. Just, as you're adding the cheese, just keep tasting it. Okay, then we got a good mix. Now we need to find a, cool off a little bit, Pyrex dish. Okay, so we've got it made, all nice and gooey. Now we've got a little Pyrex dish, and we're just gonna pour it in. All right. Okay, that's going to cool off for a bit, and then we're going to cover it, put it in the fridge, or just leave it out, and then we're going to eat it probably in about 7 hours, and just grate cheese over the top of it, same white cheddar, and then either bake it or broil it for a bit to bring it up to so it's hot, and then serve it, and that's it. Now then we're going to make some stuffing balls. So we just got a stuffing mix, seasoned. We're going to add an onion, some mushrooms, butter, salt, and we've got about maybe 1 to 2 cups of chicken stock we're going to use. You can use water. The mix will tell you how much liquid you need, and it can be water or a stock. So we're just going to use chicken stock today. And now, so we're going to start off by cooking the onions and mushrooms. Just cook them in butter. Add the stock. Give that a cook for a few minutes, and then add the mix. So let's get going. So first I'm going to chop the onion, and this is a neat way of doing it. I saw on, I think on TikTok or somewhere. But basically cut the top off first, leave the root on, cut it this way, and then peel it. Just take that outer skin off. And then when you cut it, you just do this. Just go down this way. Obviously not all the way through to the end. You can do a little horizontal cut. Just going to do one. And then obviously I wouldn't cut normally when I'm a cook, guys, so I'm lazy, I don't want to move the camera. And there you have it. And apparently, by leaving the root on, I'm not crying. Okay, the butter's melted. Sit here, ready. Add the onions. Okay. We're not going to add the mushrooms yet. It won't take as long. Just turn it here there. And let those cook for a bit. Okay, so we chopped up the onion, finally chopped some mushrooms up, a couple of cups. You can add chopped celery if you want. Anything you need to add, but chop it up finely. And we're gonna use a pan. Start again with some butter. And the first thing we're gonna do is just cook down the onions and the mushrooms. Okay, the onions are looking good. Some actually had some fresh thyme, just that little pinch. Get background taste. And then we're going to add the mushrooms. Let that all cook down. Okay, we're back now. Mushrooms, onions are all cooked down. Any big bits you see, just smash up with a spoon. Now we're going to add in, recipe asks for 1.5 cups of chicken stock, which I preheated. So let's just add that. And let that cook for a few minutes. Just infuse. I'll add a little bit of salt. Just a pinch. The breadcrumb mix is seasoned already. Obviously, if it's not just regular bread, then you can just, if it's just regular bread, then just make it your own seasoning. Okay, chicken stock, mushrooms and onions have been cooking for a while. Hopefully we have enough of the mixture there. Now we just add the breadcrumbs. Really tough opening the bag. Okay, and then stir. Actually turn off the heat and stir. So it's good to have a deep pan, otherwise you'll be making a mess. Looks pretty good. If it's too dry, you can always add a little bit more. I've got some extra stock over there. If you don't have extra stock, you just add water just to give it mixed. You just want to make sure everything gets a little bit of moisture on any hard lumps. It's looking pretty good. Okay, so now that's done. Obviously, it's going to be too hot to roll into stuffing balls right now, so we're going to just move it to this pan to cool off. That's hot. Okay, we'll let it cool off, and we'll come back when it's ready and just compress it into balls. Okay, we're back. We got them all made into balls. Sometimes you try and get them the same size. Sometimes you make one that's a little bigger, so you can just like take some off and make them and then we will bake these later. Okay, now we're gonna the stuffing mixing is now warm. We're just gonna oil a pan, tiny splash, not much, just avocado oil. Okay, and then we're just gonna squeeze them out. I suppose you could use gloves. I did thoroughly wash my hands before doing this, so, but if you're picky. Okay, get my drift. I don't think I need to do any more. You'll see the finished results shortly. Okay, now we're going to make some smoked salmon. This salmon has been sitting since about 4 o'clock yesterday, so it's now noon. So about 20 hours. And this has been covered in a mix, like two cups of dark brown sugar and 1 cup of kosher salt. And as you can see, I mean, there's a huge amount of juice, and there's still, you can see some granules of sugar that haven't dissolved. So what we're going to do now is we're going to actually just completely wash these. Get some cold water running. And you feel they're quite hard. They've been cured, so a lot of juice has been sucked out. Give them a good wash. Everything off, and then we're going to put them over here, and they're going to air dry for about a couple of hours. They were in the fridge overnight, so we need to get to room temperature, and then we'll do one more. And then they're going to be going into the smoker, which we'll show you later.